If you're engaged to be married or thinking about getting engaged, you may be feeling a few different things. One might be just total excitement. Can't wait, ready to do the planning. You're ready deep in the planning. Maybe you're feeling a little bit of second guessing yourself. Maybe you're wondering if it's the right time or the right person. Perhaps since the engagement, you've started to notice a wondering about why you asked or why you said yes. Maybe you feel like one of you is pushing more for the wedding to happen sooner than the other. These are very natural, normal experiences for couples that have gotten engaged or are getting engaged. And I want to normalize all of it. But I also want to take this time to invite you to consider that this moment right now, before you start fully planning the wedding, before you're choosing the date, this is a great time to do deeper work on your relationship and to really discover how vibrant and healthy you can make your relationship. Because waiting for that after the wedding is, to me, it's not the right order of operations. It's a lack of strategic sequencing when it comes to doing love and relationship skillfully. And even thinking about strategy and love may sound like a paradox or a contradiction. Like love's about just feeling your feelings and feeling the vibes and just going for what you want. And, and I get that. And honestly, I've fallen prey to that far too many times. There's the old adage that you teach what you need to learn. And I'm definitely one of those people that did not know anything about healthy love and intimacy when I was growing up or in my first relationships, my second relationships, my third, and many, many others. I kept thinking if I found the right woman, well, then it would all just work out. I'm a good person. I'm a sensitive guy. I'm not an asshole. And yet, somehow I found myself being a bit of an asshole in these relationships, unconsciously, unaware. So I come to you humbly saying, hey, I'd love it if more people wouldn't make the same mistakes that I made, because there's no need to create more suffering and more pain right now. We need more love for sure. We need more connection. We need more health and vitality in our being and in our relationships. But that doesn't mean ignoring the signals in your own body, in your own awareness that may be telling you like, perhaps I do need to do some deeper work within myself and with my partner to feel more of a full yes to getting married. Because getting married isn't just about a legal contract, though that obviously is important. It's not just about commingling and entwining your lives more deeply on many different levels. It's also something that once you've done it, it's very difficult to undo it, especially in this country, the United States. It's not a simple thing. And getting married is not a simple thing either, but definitely getting divorced is even more complicated. So before you spend all this time and energy and money on a wedding and getting into something that is very difficult to extricate yourself from and can lead to a lot of pain and suffering, take a moment, connect with yourself, connect with your partner and say, let's do this really skillfully. Let's do this really consciously. Let's do this in a way that leads to the best possible chance of us being the best possible partners for each other so that we can live out the rest of our lives with more joy, with more happiness, with more connection. And there's no guarantee you'll stay together till death do you part. You very well might, but that's not a sign of a great relationship. I can think of dozens and dozens of couples that I know personally who have stayed together for decades that are kind of not that happy with each other. Some are more miserable than others, but it's definitely not a happy partnership. It's just a settling for, better than being single or just codependent. And if that's what you want, probably the right time to click away from this video. I'm not going to have anything to share with you that you're going to resonate with, because I don't believe that that's what we really want. I think most of us want something that helps us to become more of our true selves. So what do you want? Have you really thought deeply about the kind of relationship you want to cultivate, the kind of life you want to cultivate? What are your values? This is a key question, because a lot of times people fall in love or meet someone they just feel attracted to and enjoy spending time with, And they don't take the time to really evaluate their core values and their non-negotiables before getting engaged or before getting married. They figure they'll figure that stuff out later. And I hate to say this, but often that figuring out that stuff later leads to conflict and ultimately separation or divorce, because they haven't aligned on the core principles of what really matters to them in their lives and found that deeper sense of resonance and compatibility about being true to themselves and being true with each other. And if you can't be true with yourself and true with each other, the relationship simply won't be satisfying. It won't feel good ultimately. You'll be repressing a part of your truth with the person you're closest to, with the person you're becoming family with. So just think about that. It's insane to think that you can create a healthy partnership with somebody that you haven't spoken your full truth to, and that you haven't been truthful with yourself about your own values, your own needs. Of course, things will emerge in the future, but that's no reason to not do the deeper work right now. So take a moment, pause the video, think about what matters to you most in life. What values in yourself and in others do you prioritize? And what are your non-negotiables? What are behaviors or values that you simply do not want to allow into your space, into your life? Think about this. It's really, really important. If your partner's an awesome person, amazing in so many ways, they're lots of fun, they're charismatic, they're gregarious, everyone loves them, but they have a habit of not telling you the full truth or omitting things that really you should know. If they don't have a high value on transparency, that might lead to a lot of heartache and hurt and betrayal in the future. They might not see it as a problem because for them, they don't find transparency a super high value, but for you, perhaps it is. So that's one area. Perhaps you have a really high value on sensual connection and wanting to cultivate more touch. Not just about sex, but about body work, about snuggling, about grooming each other, whatever it is. You have a high value on physical connection. One of the love languages that Gary Chapman talked about is physical connection, physical touch, right? Maybe that's a really high value for you, but your partner's like, meh, not a big deal for them. They're more happy to have the intellectual connection, the spiritual connection. They don't love body work. Again, this doesn't have to be a deal breaker, but you need to get clear and bring these things to light before you move into engagement, and definitely before you move into getting married. Because if you don't, these things will just surface later and create conflict and make you wonder why you hadn't done it earlier. So do it now. So that's my invitation for this first video, is to really do a values inventory for yourself and for your partner to do the same, and to compare your notes with each other. I'm sure you love each other, but loving each other is not enough to create a healthy partnership. And if you're old enough to have had a few relationships, you're probably well aware of this fact. So don't let your fear of what if we find something out that's going to get in the way of doing this work, because you'll just be perpetuating the same pattern. So now's the time to create more clarity, to create more openness, and in a sense, to create more love. Because more love can flow when there's more ease, more relaxation, when you're more able to just be who you are, with all of your faults, with all of your weaknesses, and also all of your beauty, all of your strengths, and the courage of your convictions. Being able to express the truth of what you really value in life and knowing what your partner values. And from that place, you can create a healthy vision. And creating a healthy shared vision is part of what I'll talk about in the next video. But you can't do that until you've clarified your values. Otherwise, the vision could be based on things that you don't really value, and that's not going to have any structure to it. So I hope to see you there, and good luck working on your values. There's a free template PDF to download where it gives you a little workbook on how to discover your values and share them with your partner.